Hi, my name is Randy Shear, and I'm a technical curriculum developer here at Jitterbit. And I'm glad you could join me as we walk through the setup process for the Epicor BigCommerce Order to Fulfillment process template. First, I want to explain what a process template is. The Cloud Studio process templates are groups of pre-built integration use cases that accelerate the execution of a specific business process using numerous objects across multiple applications or systems. Process templates are designed to reduce the time to deployment by 50 to 80% and can be self-implemented, delivered by Jitterbit Professional Services, or delivered by an implementation partner. For access to a template, contact your Customer Success Manager. The Epicor BigCommerce Order to Fulfillment process template drives greater efficiencies in sales order fulfillment that speeds automatic connections to commonly used objects, fields, and processes, transforms operations with streamlined communications, and data integration across business processes, meets rising customer expectation for seamless customer experience with quick, cost-effective integration that synchronizes data and processes between workflows. With all that out of the way, let's begin with installing the process template. To install the process template, I'll log into the Jitterbit Harmony portal and open Marketplace. Marketplace is Jitterbit's new resource for searching and retrieving recipes and process templates to help you quickly create new projects. I will use the filter on the side to help me find the template that I want. Once I find the appropriate template, I will first click on Documents to download the documentation guide for this process template. This documentation guide should be referenced frequently while using the process template. After the documentation guide finishes downloading, I will click on Start Project. I will first be directed to the Download Customization screen. Here, I will click the appropriate file to download and click Download Files. I will use these files later to prepare Epicore. After the files have finished downloading, I will click Next. I'll be directed to the Create New Project screen. This process template has multiple projects with specific names that should not change, but I can add a prefix name to help manage the multiple iterations of this process template. I will then select my proper environment because Jitterbit is capable of having multiple environments. Once all these steps are complete, I will click Create Projects. After the projects are created, I can either go back to Marketplace or go to Cloud Studio. I will continue to Cloud Studio where I will find my newly created projects. Now it's time to prepare my Epicore instance. Before running the Cloud Studio project operations, the main user of the Epicor company must prepare the Epicor endpoint. The Epicor packages must be deployed and then verified as described in the documentation guide. For this section, I will need the files that I downloaded while installing the process template. These files contain all of the configuration files I need to configure this template and all of the custom fields for the corresponding objects. Please see the Jitterbit documentation guide for more information. I've already located the packages that were provided with the template. These packages were located in the Epicor package folder. I will need to install these packages in Epicor and validate that the packages were installed. For this video, I am only going to do the first one. To do this, I'll log into Epicor with my credentials, and on the main screen I will type the word Solution in the search box and select Solution Workbench. Now that I'm in the Solution Workbench, I will open the Actions menu and select Install Solution. In the Source section, I will click Solution File and browse to the first configuration file. Now in the Settings section, I will set the deployment folder to my current working directory. I will also click the Removes Directives with Matching Names checkbox. Finally, in the Conflict Resolution section, I will select Automatically Overwrite Duplicate Files and Automatically Overwrite Duplicate Data. This will avoid issues while trying to install new versions of the solution or update existing solutions, allowing an update or overwrite of existing information. The last step is to click Install to finish the process. Once we've installed the two files, it is time to validate the Epicor package installation. To validate the installation, I will open the Actions menu and select Delete Installed Solutions. On the Delete Installed Solutions screen, I can verify that the files are listed in the table. It is important to read the buttons at the bottom. Do not click Delete unless that is what you intend to do. I will click Cancel. Now that I've installed the Epicore packages and validated the installation, the data model must be regenerated. This process depends on your Epicore installation type. After configuring the Epicore instance, I will open the first project listed in Documentation Guide. Each project has its own independent set of project variables. To set the values of these variables, I will go to the Project Variable list by clicking the Actions menu icon, which are the 3 dots at the top of the project pane. I will then select Project Variables from the drop-down menu. Then set or modify the values as appropriate. When I am done entering all the appropriate values, I will click the X at the top, which will take me back to the project. There is a list of variables that need to be changed in the supporting documentation guide. I will apply the appropriate variable settings from my connector, and I'll be ready to test each endpoint connector. With the appropriate variable settings applied, I click the X at the top, which took me back to the project. Prior to running any of the project's operations, I need to open each of the connectors and test the connection to confirm that the supplied credentials work with each endpoint. First, I will check BigCommerce to see if the connection is successful. To do this, I will double-click on the connector and scroll down to the bottom where I see the button called Test. When that button is clicked, it will take all of the variable settings I used in the last step to see if there is a successful connection for my specific connector. If it was successful, I will see a green message saying Connection Success. If it was not successful, I will get an error message. I see that my connector was set up correctly, and I will click the X at the top and do the same thing for my Epicore connector. Now it is time to start triggering the proper workflows in the proper order. It is important that I install, configure, and test the connectors of all of the projects listed in Documentation Guide. Once this step has been completed, I can deploy and run each project in the proper order as listed in Documentation Guide. If you have any questions, please check out the information located at Success Central by going to success.jitterbit.com.